Good afternoon, all. Thank you all very much. It's indeed a honor and privilege to be here in Maui this afternoon. I wish it was under different circumstances, but I do thank you very much, Governor Green, for the welcome. It's indeed an honor and privilege to be here. We left D.C. practically early this morning, about 6:45, made the trip over to L.A., switched airplanes, and made our way here so we could be here with you today. You know, I'm here to agree with you, but also I want you to know that the entire country is here for you. I just surveyed the damage, and I want you to know whatever it takes, as long as it takes. And I look at your congressmen and senators and governor and lieutenant governor. We're going to get it done for them. We're going to get it done the way you want it done. Get it done, somebody, not to get it done somebody else's way, but get these houses rebuilt, the city rebuilt the way you want it, not the way somebody else wants it. You know, a lot of people in the last few weeks have talked about loss, and I can't stand up here this afternoon and tell you that I know what it feels like. I can't imagine what it's like to lose everything, your home, every possession. I can't imagine what it's like to lose a loved one or have one that's unaccounted for even at this late date. You know, and I know you're missing things. That ring he gave you when you were 19 years old, from that special letter that came from your son or daughter. It's the little things that matter the most. The album, the family albums, all of it is a touchstone to all things we care about and lose. And many of you have lost more than just that. Many of you have lost family, not even sure where some are. Only one thing worse than losing someone is not sure where your lost one is. Not sure where they are. My heart really goes out to each and every one of you. It aches for you. Those of you who are trying to determine whether or not the person is missing, unaccounted for reasons that are devastating. What I observed in my short time here this afternoon is the courage, the community, the sense of togetherness you have. It's not an ordinary community. It's a community based on faith in one another. I've had an opportunity to get to know your governor. I know your senators. What they said about you is true. It's true and it matters. There's an old Irish poet who once wrote a poem called The Cure at Troy. There's a stanza in it that seems to be appropriate here this afternoon. He said, history teaches us not to hope on the side of the grave, but then once in a lifetime, that longed for tidal wave of justice can rise up, and hope and history rhyme. It's time it rises up for you all. It's time to rebuild this community the way you want it built, the way you want it. So it's still a community, not a group of beautiful homes, but a community. And I promise you, I give you my word, we're not going to stop until it's done. After arriving here earlier today, I flew over the island in a helicopter, and I could see a lovely home completely unscattered by a whole bunch of homes around it, burned to the ground. Well, I asked what the average age of the homes were that in this community. And they said close to 50 years they've been around. The shingles are changed, the way in which the glass and the windows are built. We're not going to build back for you. We're going to build back better than you had it. But what you want and what you need. Because I tell you that the truth of the matter is, the rest of the world is looking at you. You know it's not the same circumstance, that no losses are the same. But the truth is, the feeling of families that have already been notified. It matters. It's going to be a long road, but you've got to have hope. Hope really does spring eternal. It's based on faith, faith in one another. You know, I've been impressed how you look at out for one another and turn your pain into purpose. This town stood in the sacred spot for centuries. So much history, so much beauty. Just before coming here, I stood in front of a banyan tree that stood for 150 years. Burned, it still stands. One resident called it a diamond in the rough of hope. Another called it fire cannot reach its roots. I know it's a metaphor, but that's you. That's who you are. That's Hawaii. There's no quit in Hawaii. There's no quit in America. There's no quit in us if we remember for God's name who we are. And let me end with my prayer for all of you. And this comes from the 91st Psalm. It says, "May he raise you up on eagle's wings and bear you on the breath of dawn. Make you to shine like the sun and hold you in the palm of his hand to you." The people of this island have shown so much absolute courage. The nation stands with you. It really does. And I want to end on this one additional note here today. I visited the Hawaii Island chain as a young child in the 1970s. Flew in from Texas. It's a long flight. A little bit longer than what it was today, but a long flight. On the flight back, we flew over this fantastic island, and the captain said, if you look out the right-hand side of the window, you can see the nighttime lights of Maui. Well, my friends, in the coming months and even in the coming year, a pilot will once again depart from neighboring Honolulu and say to his passengers, look out your right side window, you can see the nighttime lights of Maui. May God bless you. May God bless our troops. And may God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you.